In our last video, we showed you how Auckland, New Zealand had become one of the most expensive cities in the world and the steps it took to improve its housing affordability. Today, following the release of Demographia's 2024 report on international housing affordability, we're taking a step back to see how Auckland now ranks internationally and how its global peers in countries like Australia, Canada, and the United States are faring by comparison. The Demographia International Housing Affordability Report is an annual publication that analyzes and compares housing affordability across 94 major metropolitan housing markets worldwide. The report is widely recognized for its comprehensive assessment of the housing affordability situation in different cities and regions, primarily focusing on high-income countries in the global Anglosphere or English-speaking world. See the link in our description below for the video we did on Demographia's 2023 report from last year. Each year, Demographia's assessment makes use of the median multiple, which is a price-to-income ratio that measures how many years of median household income it would take to buy a median-priced home. The study then ranks each market's performance based on that metric. The study considers a median multiple of 3 or less to be generally affordable, while higher values indicate varying degrees of unaffordability. This includes moderately unaffordable for ratios of 3.1 to 4, seriously unaffordable for 4.1 to 5, severely unaffordable for 5.1 to 8.9, and impossibly unaffordable for median multiples of 9 and over. With all that in mind, let's run through this year's top 10 least affordable cities before diving into some of the broader trends. Starting at number 10, San Diego, California. Joining a number of its West Coast neighbors, San Diego is a new addition to this year's top 10 list. To purchase a home in this idyllic coastal escape will set you back 9.5 years of median household income. Tied for 9th and 8th least affordable are Adelaide, Australia, and San Francisco, California. As a city celebrated for its vibrant art scene and laid-back lifestyle, Adelaide's housing market pressure has pushed it up the ranking as a new addition to the top 10 least affordable housing markets. Known for its iconic Golden Gate Bridge and steep scenic streets, San Francisco's allure drives the housing market that ties it with Adelaide's 2024 median multiple of 9.7 years of income. Number 7, Melbourne, Australia. Famed for its rich cultural festivals and vibrant coffee culture, Melbourne's thriving appeal results in a housing market with a median multiple of 9.8. Number 6, Honolulu, Hawaii. Renowned for its stunning beaches and aloha spirit, a piece of this tropical paradise comes at a price of 10.5 years of household income. Number 5, Los Angeles, California. Home to Hollywood, glamour, and endless sunshine, Los Angeles' star-studded appeal produces a median multiple of 10.9 years. Number 4, San Jose, California. As the heart of Silicon Valley's tech innovation, a home in San Jose will run you 11.9 years of household income. Number 3, Vancouver, Canada. Celebrated for its breathtaking natural landscapes and diverse culture, Vancouver's global allure leads to a housing market with a median multiple of 12.3 years of household income. Number 2, Sydney, Australia. Known for its iconic opera house and stunning harbour, Sydney's cosmopolitan charm fuels a housing market with a median multiple of 13.8 years, 4 years higher than any other city in Australia. And at number 1, Hong Kong, China. With a median multiple of 16.7 points, Hong Kong's lack of affordability far surpasses the next closest city on this list. Despite seeing a year-over-year improvement, it has remained the least affordable market over the 13 years Demographia has included it in its study. The fact that Hong Kong remains the least affordable city in the world underscores the dizzying heights of China's recently burst real estate bubble. Now, to provide a bit more context, we'll highlight a few of the key trends between 2024's top 10 least affordable cities and those identified in last year's study. First off, there's the elephant in the room that is Auckland, New Zealand, which is conspicuously absent from this year's list. Last year, Auckland had the title of 7th least affordable city with a median multiple of 10.8. This year, it dropped an encouraging 5 spots to rank as the 12th least affordable city with a median multiple of 8.2. So in real terms, Aucklanders now require 2.6 fewer years of income to afford a median-priced home. This is also the first time Auckland has fallen out of the top 10 since it started making a regular appearance in Demographia's 2012 ranking over a decade ago. As discussed in our previous videos, this appears to be one more sign that the city's Auckland Unitary Plan housing strategy may be seeing results. Similarly, Toronto also fell out of this year's top 10 least affordable cities, shifting just one place back from number 10 to number 11, a position it last held in 2019. Its real affordability also improved, though only marginally, from a median multiple of 9.5 to a median multiple of 9.3. However, despite dropping out of the top 10, it's still one of only 11 impossibly unaffordable cities on this year's list. But at least it's heading in the right direction. With Auckland and Toronto dropping out of this year's top 10, the cities that rose to replace them were San Diego and Adelaide. San Diego rose from 11th to 10th place with a median multiple increase from 9.4 to 9.5 years. Adelaide, which made the largest jump of any city in the top 10, went from 14th in 2023 to 9th least affordable this year, with a 1.5-year median multiple increase from 8.2 to 9.7 years of income. This year's top 3 cities of Hong Kong, Sydney, and Vancouver saw no change in placement over 2023, although this doesn't reflect their real change in affordability, which saw Vancouver's median multiple rise from 12 to 12.3 years, and Sydney's from 13.3 to 13.8 years. Bucking this trend was Hong Kong, which saw its median multiple decrease from 18.8 to 16.7, its second major drop in as many years. While improved affordability is generally a good thing for the average home buyer, the 28% decline observed in its median multiple over the last 2 years is likely a reflection of China's ongoing real estate crisis, which has economic implications beyond housing that, overall, may not be a net positive for residents. Aside from the recent addition of Adelaide and San Diego, one other Australian and 2 American cities moved up the list in this year's ranking, including San Jose, Los Angeles, and Melbourne. In contrast, Honolulu was the only city to see a drop in rank while still remaining in the top 10. However, these shifts in ranking don't all reflect their change in terms of real affordability, with San Jose seeing a median multiple increase of 0.4 years, Los Angeles a decrease of 0.4 years, Melbourne a decrease of 0.1 years, and Honolulu a decrease of 1.3 years. Also worth noting is San Francisco, which saw a decrease of 1 year despite seeing no change over last year's ranking. Overall, one last trend to note is that with the loss of Toronto and Auckland, this year's top 10 list is increasingly made up of Australian and American cities, underscoring a potentially problematic direction in those countries that highlights the need for further housing policy review. However, in real terms, the US market as a whole did improve slightly over last year, as its affordability rating dropped from an average median multiple of 5 years to 4.8 years of income. Similarly, the average value for cities in the United Kingdom fell from 5.3 to 5 years. Australia, on the other hand, saw the greatest decline in affordability of any country on this year's ranking, as its median multiple rating increased from 8.2 to 9.7. To a lesser extent, this was also a trend experienced by Canada, as the average median multiple increased from 5.3 to 5.6 years of income. While year after year, the Demographia report most squarely blames unaffordability on restrictive land use policies that limit suburban expansion of housing, the true drivers of unaffordability may be a bit more complex. As we've highlighted in past videos, a number of other factors likely playing a role include increased demand from an influx of foreign capital into international gateway cities, immigration-fueled population growth, the introduction of the millennial generation into the housing market, and more recently, pandemic demand shock. While restrictive housing policies and regulations likely dampen supply and contribute to unaffordability, turning surrounding natural and agricultural areas into low-density residential subdivisions may not be the only or best option, as Auckland's upzoning experiment to encourage more infill housing has so far shown. Also, as discussed in our video about last year's Demographia Study, other geographic and economic factors likely shape which cities observe the most demand and therefore the highest prices. As we previously noted, the most affordable locations tended to be former American Rust Belt cities, whose economies and quality of life have been recovering for decades from the loss of their industrial economic base. Meanwhile, those cities at the least affordable end of the list have tended to be located around the Pacific Rim and have been attractive real estate investment destinations for foreign capital, particularly from China, for over the last decade or two. Keeping with this trend, the 2 additions to this year's top 10 least affordable cities, Adelaide and San Diego, are also located in the Pacific Rim. For more on Demographia's most affordable cities in 2024, stay tuned for our next video. So what do you think? Do any of this year's top 10 least affordable cities surprise you? Do you see any interesting trends emerging beyond those that we discussed here? Assuming that China's earlier real estate bubble fueled much of the price increases observed around the Pacific Rim, Is it possible that China's real estate crisis may now result in a knock-on decline of prices in these cities in the coming years? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, please tell us by hitting like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.